talk about some updates regarding Heather and her ex Dylan. First, starting off with Dylan. Dylan was arrested on June 4th for a burglary that he did, and he's been in jail ever since, and he has finally been released. I got a notification sent to my phone and email that he was released on June 26th at 12:40 p.m. I haven't really seen much posts from him since he's been released, and that's really all we have on him for now. Heather has been homeless, living on the streets for years now, and once she finally had her son Mateo, she was able to get set up with a shelter, and pretty much they put her like in this luxury hotel, and her and Xavier were able to stay there. But now it looks like her shelter may be finally coming to an end. So it all started when a Reddit user by the name Aussie Slim, shout out to them, they posted on the Heather Reddit an update on Heather's stay. And they said, this shelter is not designed for what Heather is doing, and she's really going to be melting down when she realizes the following. Number one, moving forward, those exiting have the option to return to the landing zone and be reprocessed and placed in shelter once again if appropriate beds are available. They will never accept that because all the shelters have case management, and we have seen how that has been going. She hasn't been going to her case management appointments. She's just pretty much been staying in the shelter and just doing that and going to see her son. And then they said number two, the factors from the Department of Family and Support Services limited stay extension policy still apply and have always included public benefit enrollment, pregnancy or infant care, medical care, disability, mental health, gender-based, people getting hurt, and medical isolation or quarantine. She's not pregnant, but stand by. That's a true way these two operate. And that is so true because she's already claimed that Xavier has been saying that he wants to knock her up again, and she claims she has turned asexual and refuses to sleep with Xavier because she doesn't want to have another baby. But I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up on the streets and gets pregnant again just to try to get back in shelter. And she said deliberate pregnancy, she has no infant in her care, she does not require medical care, she's not disabled, and she won't get proper mental health assistance. Three, first, due to the current bed availability, the families with children who are in shelter as of today will receive 30-day extensions, which may be renewed up to 3 times through June 10th, 2024, and this does not apply to her. Then they talk about families who qualify for asylum seeker emergency rental assistance programs. They have already qualified for this program, and Heather obviously isn't seeking asylum, so she does not qualify for this. And this person said, as has been the process since November 2023, any new shelter residents will receive a 60-day notice upon entering the shelter system. This person point with what they knew, because the next day Heather was going live back to back all over social media, just going on a whole tirade, upset because I guess the shelter came to her room, some person did, and said, okay, are you guys ready? We got to take you somewhere. And Heather kind of got an attitude at first, like, where are we going? When are we going to be back? So they ended up putting her in this van. They took her to this place and like, yeah, we're going to see if you can go to this other shelter. Apparently, this other shelter they're supposed to be going to is called the Olive Branch, and one Reddit user posted these photos of what the Olive Branch looks like, and it's obviously a step down from the luxury hotel she's staying in now, and she did not want to go there at all, and I can kind of understand why, but I mean, she hasn't done anything to change her situation, so she's really lucky she's even being offered some type of place. But she was like, oh, I was supposed to go to the Olive Branch before I went to the shelter that we're in now, and they turned us down. Which they did not turn Heather down. What they did is Heather came rolling up to the shelter with her 2 carts with all this crap on it, and they're like, dude, you cannot bring all that in here. We just saw what the shelter looks like. It is very minimal on space. And so they told her, like, look, you got to get rid of all that stuff. You can only bring one duffel bag and one backpack in a piece. And she was claiming that, oh, I just bought this new stroller and car seat and pretty much travel system for Mateo, and they told her that she had to pretty much throw it away or just get rid of it, and she refused to do that, so she did not go into the shelter, and then they ended up setting her up with the place she's at now. So it looks like she's probably gonna have to go back to that place here in 10 days, and she's not happy about it at all, and she's still convinced that she's not gonna be accepted this time. And she's like, man, if they don't accept me, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I need electricity, because I have to pump every single 4 hours. And she just keeps bringing up the fact that, you know, these companies, like these people with the hotels, they can afford to give us shelter because they're millionaires. There's all these houses that are owned by billionaires in the area, and they can afford to help us out. And it's just like, I just don't get that mentality. It's such an entitled mentality that you feel like you can just sit around and not do anything all day, and somebody, just because they're rich, they're supposed to just take care of you. It doesn't really make much sense at all. She is talking about, oh, I'm not gonna have a special room and electricity so I can pump like I need to. But she admitted the other day in a live that the foster family that's keeping her son isn't even giving the breast milk to Mateo. So the only time that she's actually breastfeeding him is when she goes over to see him during her supervised visits, and then forces her milk upon him. That's another thing she was complaining about too. Like, she's in this really nice hotel that is way better than that other shelter that she may be possibly going to, and she is still ungrateful. Instead of pointing out all the great things she has, like free internet, free rent, like someone did the math and added up how much that hotel is every single. That's a nice hotel. So they were probably charging people $100 to $200 a night to stay there. So if you stay there for a month, that would be anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 a month times 6 months that she's been staying there. That is over $18,000, anywhere between $18,000 and $36,000 worth of hotel rooms that she has received for free. And I'm sure the shelter got a deal, and they're probably only paying like $1,000 a month for her to stay there, or maybe even cheaper than that. But then they have to pay for her cable, they have to pay for her internet, they're paying to feed her, and no telling what else they're helping her out with. Like, I know they're buying her and Xavier's bus passes, even though she keeps claiming that she doesn't have one and keeps using it as an excuse to get money out of her sponsors. But she's got all this she's received for free, and the girl's still complaining because she said it's not good enough because she doesn't have a fridge. She's like, a fridge is not too much to ask for, because she needs it for her breast milk, even though the foster family does not give the baby the breast milk. At this point, I'm convinced she just continues breastfeeding so it helps her lose weight, and so she can try to hold on to being a mommy influencer, because she doesn't have anything else to be a mommy influencer with. Like, she doesn't have custody of her kids, but hey, if she breast pumps all day, then she can pretend that she's in her mommy influencer era. But that's pretty much it. So she has less than 10 days to go. I'm curious what's going to happen after that. And I know she's probably going to be a wreck after she has to move out. She's already been spiraling this past few days after learning she has to leave. But I mean, it's been 6 months. I already knew this wasn't going to be a forever thing. And literally, you had 6 months to get your life together and still have not got a job. It just goes to show that you can try to give someone a stepping stone and they're not always going to utilize it. You know, I have family members who are on drugs, who go through jobs every few months. And I know one family member, for example, he's had 5 jobs in the past year. And Heather, she hasn't had a job in what, like 4 or 5 years now? That's crazy at this point. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys... Oh, I also want to tell you guys one other thing. So while she was going on this rant on the bus, while she was on her way to see her son Mateo the other day, she was talking about this whole situation, and we see Xavier in the back on the bus, and he walks up to her and he grabs an empty bottle out of her bag, and then he goes to this like back corner in the bus and hides behind this like metal thing, and then he pees into the bottle, and like literally on the bus, like he couldn't even wait. I'm sure it wasn't that long of a bus ride, and he's looking around trying to make sure that nobody was watching him, not knowing that the whole live saw it. I'm not going to show the clip. You can check out this Instagram page, and they have the clip, and they have some other clips from Heather's live that I was recapping in this video. But that is it for this video, guys. I will keep you guys updated on this situation as more details emerge, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think is going to end up happening? Do we think that Heather is going to get pregnant again real fast as she does end up losing her shelter? Let me know in the comments below, because I could really see that happening. At this point, I think the girl just needs to get her tubes tied, because I don't think it's responsible to keep bringing children into this world when you don't have custody of them or doing anything to try to take care of the children. But it's just another child that's going to grow up in a foster family. I mean, she got lucky with her other children that the father's families were in the picture, but unfortunately with Xavier, she doesn't really have that. So it just would be another foster family likely if she gets pregnant again. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.